Islam has surpassed Roman Catholicism as the world's largest religion, the Vatican newspaper said Sunday. For the first time in history, we are no longer the top. Muslims have overtaken us, Monsignor Formenti said in an interview with the Vatican newspaper. He said that Catholics accounted for 17.4% of the world's population, a stable percentage, while Muslims were at 19.2%. It is true that while Muslim families, as it is well known, continue to make lots of children, Christian ones, by this he means Roman Catholic, on the contrary, tend to have fewer and fewer, the Monsignor said.
According to a report by Faith Matters, the UK is seeing a surge in Brits converting to Islam. In the last year, around 5,200 people in Britain converted to Islam. As many as 100,000 have converted in the last decade. Now, while that's not a huge number if you consider the UK's total population, which is around 61 million, it's definitely notable. Of those converting, about 62% were women, and the average age is over 27 years old. And the vast majority of women who converted also changed their appearance, with a significant majority adopting the hijab, or a headscarf. Now, we've done stories here on the show how some European countries have voted to ban the hijab in public, to ban minarets. But that's not the case in the UK. Now, the obvious question really is, what is behind this high rate of conversion? Some followers told Britain's The Telegraph that they felt lost in their own lives, that they were lacking in purpose before conversion. And most Brits have reported that since their conversion, they've been living with ease in the UK, that they've only faced minimal problems from their families about their new choice of religion. So what's going on? What is compelling so many young white women to convert to Islam in droves? We're going to delve further into this topic on another program.
Michael Hart, the American author of the wide-selling book, The 100, a ranking of the most influential persons in history, chose Prophet Muhammad to be at the top of the list. He said,
"My choice of Muhammad to lead the list of the world's most influential persons may surprise some readers and may be questioned by others. But he was the only man in history who was supremely successful on both the religious and secular levels. It is this unparalleled combination of secular and religious influence which I feel entitles Muhammad to be considered the most influential single figure in human history."
Many international intellectuals were impressed with Prophet Muhammad's personal qualities and expressed it in their writings. Lamartine, the famous French historian, in his book The History of the Turks, said about Prophet Muhammad,
"If greatness of purpose, smallness of means, and outstanding results are the three criteria of human genius, who could dare to compare any great man in modern history with Muhammad?"
Mahatma Gandhi, the spiritual leader of the Indian independence movement and the pioneer of resistance through mass civil disobedience, said about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him,
"I became more than convinced that it was not the sword that won a place for Islam in those days in the scheme of life. It was the rigid simplicity, the utter self-effacement of the Prophet, the scrupulous regard for pledges, his intense devotion to his friends and followers, his intrepidity, his fearlessness, his absolute trust in God and in his own mission."
Wolfgang Goethe, one of the key figures of German literature and one of the most famous European poets, who was also a painter, humanist, scientist, and philosopher, said about Prophet Muhammad,
"He is a prophet and not a poet, and therefore his Quran is to be seen as a divine law and not as a book of a human being, made for education or entertainment."
أشرف الأعراب والأعجم خير من يمشي على قدمه باسط المعروف جامعتان، صاحب الإحسان والكرم